There's a moment most people have at some point in their late 50s or early 60s. They open their 401k statement, they look at the balance, and instead of feeling reassured, they feel something harder to name. Not panic exactly, more like a low-level uncertainty that's been sitting in the background for years. Am I where I'm supposed to be? Is this enough, or have I been quietly falling behind without realizing it? The problem is there's no clear answer anywhere. The internet gives you round numbers that feel made up. Your coworkers aren't talking about their balances, and your advisor, if you have one, tends to focus on projections rather than telling you honestly where you stand right now. Today, we're going to fix that. Real benchmarks by age and what they actually mean for your retirement. Before we get into the numbers, one distinction matters more than anything else on this list: average versus median. The average 401k balance gets pulled up dramatically by a small number of people with very large balances. A handful of people with $2 million or $3 million in their accounts make the average look much better than the typical person's reality. The median is different. The median is the middle. Half of people have more, half have less. It reflects what a typical person actually has. And the gap between the average and the median is enormous. Every time you see a retirement savings statistic, check which number they're using. If it's the average, it's probably not telling you the real story. Here are the benchmarks by age, both average and median, based on recent Federal Reserve and Vanguard data. At 55 to 59, the average 401k balance is around $256,000. The median is roughly $87,000. If you have $150,000 at 57, you might feel behind the average. You're actually well above the median. Most people your age have less than $100,000. At 60 to 64, the average climbs to around $364,000. The median sits closer to $134,000. This is the decade where the gap between high savers and everyone else becomes most visible. The averages are inflated significantly by the top earners. At 65 and beyond, average balances approach $430,000 for many datasets. The median for people entering retirement is somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000 depending on the source. Here's the honest version of those numbers. Most Americans arrive at retirement with less than $200,000 in their 401k. That's not a catastrophe. Social Security exists, spending adjusts, pensions still cover some people, but it's also not the $1 million finish line most people have in their heads. By the way, if nobody's shown you the real numbers before, that's exactly what this channel is here for. Hit subscribe, new video every single day. Now, let's keep going. There's a second benchmark worth knowing: the salary multiple. Fidelity, one of the largest 401k providers in the country, publishes guidelines on how much you should have saved relative to your income at each age. By 50, 6 times your annual salary. By 55, 7 times. By 60, 8 times. By 67, 10 times. So if you're 60 and earning $70,000, the target is $560,000. Most people aren't hitting these numbers. That's not a reason to panic, it's information, and information is what you use to make better decisions in the years you have left. Let me show you two people. Karen is 58. She earns $85,000 and has $290,000 in her 401k. She feels behind. The Fidelity benchmark says she should be closer to $595,000 by 60. She's not there. But here's what Karen's situation actually looks like. She has 7 years until traditional retirement age. She's now eligible for catch-up contributions, an extra $8,000 per year on top of the standard limit. If she maxes out at $32,500 per year for the next 7 years and earns a modest 6% return, she adds roughly $280,000 to her balance. She arrives at 65 with close to $650,000. Not where she thought she'd be at 58, exactly where she needs to be at 65. The benchmark isn't a grade, it's a gap analysis, and gaps have solutions. Now let's talk about what the number actually means for retirement income, because the balance alone tells you almost nothing. A $300,000 401k at a 4% withdrawal rate produces $12,000 a year. Add average Social Security of $20,000 and you're at $32,000. For someone with a paid-off home and modest expenses, that's workable. A $600,000 401k at 4% produces $24,000. Add Social Security and you're at $44,000. More comfortable, more flexibility. The balance matters, but it only makes sense inside the full picture. Social Security timing, spending level, other income sources, healthcare costs, and withdrawal strategy. Which is why comparing yourself to an average is always going to be less useful than understanding your own specific numbers. Here's what to do right now. Add up every retirement account you have. Old 401ks from previous jobs, your current plan, any IRAs, get the real total. Then compare it to your age-based benchmark and your salary multiple, not to feel good or bad about it, but to understand the gap if there is one and how much time you have to close it. If you're behind, the two most powerful levers available to you right now are catch-up contributions and a slightly later retirement date. Even one extra year of contributions and one extra year of compounding changes the final number more than most people expect. If this gave you a clearer picture of where you actually stand, do 3 things. Hit like so more people find this, subscribe for a new video every single day, and share this with someone who's been avoiding looking at their balance because they're afraid of what they'll see. Drop the word benchmark in the comments if you want us to break down a specific age and savings scenario. We read every single one. In the next video, we're covering the Roth conversion window, why the years between retirement and 73 may be the most valuable tax planning opportunity of your life. All right, that's all for now. We'll see you next time.